high atop the pastoral center of the Diocese of Camden, you're listening to Talking Catholic.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Talking Catholic. It's Carrie Janice here, and I'm with my good friend. Welcome back, Mike Walsh.
Yeah, I'm back. That little surprise episode greeted me late last week. That was not an unexpected hostful that I was not a part of. My first ever not part of the hostful.
And guess what?
What?
It went so well.
I'll tell you, it sounded
so
like
good.
I listened to the entire thing. It sounded like you guys were having a blast the entire time. I'm definitely going to have to fire Michael Bress because he definitely sounds way too much like me and is perhaps better at this than I am. So either that or I got to turn over the whole thing to him. But
that's an idea.
it's going to go one way or the other.
Yeah.
But no, I thoroughly enjoyed hearing all of your plans for summer.
Yeah, it was fun.
The scream at the end for New Kids on the Block was hysterical.
Yes.
It was great. Hearing Marianella truthfully say that the Jersey Shore pales in comparison to the shore at the Dominican Republic, that was not really a surprise.
No, it was a setup. Like, it was a setup question. I'm like, I know the answer to this before. I've been to the Dominican Republic. I know the answer to this, but
yes.
It was great to hear it from a local.
Yes. And the fact that we made it into recording something where we're on the road and your domicile, your work domicile, right before you close up shop for 6 weeks. That's nice. You got some college kids up there right now enjoying each other's company. That's nice.
Yeah, but remember, for the second half of this podcast, we're going to be going on the road. So we're we're like in two locations.
We are. We're doing a pre-interview and then we're doing a on-location taste testing. We're very excited about that.
Yeah, stay tuned for that.
Yeah,
but for now, Mike, where were you while we were away?
Well,
playing around in your office space.
You might be able to actually. Did you record in the vault or did you record in the conference room?
In the conference room.
Okay, I was because I was listening for the sound and I was like, I can't tell where they recorded.
What is that sound? Please let our listeners know because I don't know what that sound is either. I'm very confused. Or did they know? Should I know?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The vault, the sound. You hear this like ding, like this gong, almost like a gong sound.
I have no
periodically
idea
throughout anytime we record in the vault, there's like a gong sound.
Oh, that gong sound. Okay.
Yeah.
That is anytime someone hits the mic stand that's set to those things, which yes, if you hear that gong sound, that is what that is. I try to filter that out.
Okay.
But some of them slip through.
No, it's I've
very
heard
irritating.
So now our listeners know because I rarely record in the vault.
Yeah.
But I hear the episodes recorded in the vault and I'm always like, what is that sound? Is someone opening the door? What is happening?
Yeah, it's on a mic stand and there's a spring on the stands, and if you hit it, you can hear the spring sort of flex back and forth. Yeah. And that is the gong. I try to take them out, but sometimes they're in the middle of a conversation. I can't do anything with it.
Yeah. Okay, well, there's the mystery itself.
There you go. Now you know where the gong comes from.
Yes. So there was no gong in our episode because we were in the conference room. And that's where we recorded. But of course, you were gone. You were away.
I was at
Atlanta.
I was in Atlanta. My first time being in Atlanta. I was at the Catholic Media Conference. You might be able to hear it in my voice. I'm quite hoarse. I did a lot of talking to people, interacting with people. My days started at I was waking up at 6:30 in the morning, going to bed around midnight, just because there was so much stuff going through. I'd like to be able to tell you that, like any conference, I was out and carousing around, but that is not the case. That conference was packed from beginning to end, and because I was the conference co-chair, I went to every single event because I'm the chair next year. Yeah. So I needed to make sure I took notes on everything about things we'd like to keep, things we'd like to change, talking to the people in Phoenix because we're going to be in Phoenix next year. Talking to the people in Atlanta, what their issues were, talking to the attendees to see what they liked, what they didn't like. I hosted 2 sessions. I facilitated 2 sessions, one with communications professionals and then the other one with the conferences or the Catholic Media Association is broken up currently into 4 different regions. A 5th Canadian region's about to be added. And
that's good. Okay, I was wondering because I saw speaker on your tag, and I was like, oh, Mike's a speaker. What's he presenting on?
Well, so in this case, I was actually they didn't have a facilitator one. So in this case, I was facilitating these roundtable discussions. So the other one, the second roundtable one I did was with the Eastern region, and that was across all different, the first one was just for communications professionals. The second one was for editors, advertisers, business people, and communication. So it's for anybody who works in the eastern side of the Catholic Media Association. And then I also co-hosted an event for the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops,
USCCB,
with their communications team and communicators from around all the different dioceses. So, and that was a great event because, it's tough. It's weird. It's even though they're the USCCB, they're just by the nature of their jobs are kind of like pulled out of the communications world, the daily communications world at the diocesan level. Even though we meet with them quarterly over Zoom, this was really the first time that a lot of people got to meet face to face with their USCCB counterparts. So it was an incredibly fruitful one. I got a lot of great information, including a stellar presentation about the intersection of artificial intelligence and how faith communities, number one, can use it, and number two, be trained properly so that it's not abused. And where, that tipping point will be that it goes from, like, currently we refer to it as artificial intelligence, but that's not really what it is. It's called machine learning. That
sounds a lot more. It just sounds better.
It does, right? And that's what it really is.
Like, not as scary sounding. Yeah, not as like.
Because it doesn't.
Almost, I want to say new agey,
yes.
Like kind of. It's just that sounds so much better.
And that's what it was a priest, a Paulist priest from somewhere in Northern California. I think Berkeley, but I might be wrong. Might be Stanford. Who was explaining literally the history of machine learning and how, it goes back to the 50s, but it only became, and then there was like a 20-year period where nothing happened with it, and then it kicked off again and started getting
60s
stronger.
to 80s.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, literally. And then in the early 90s, the early 80s, or mid 80s started kicking off again. Then the 90s it got stronger, and then stronger and stronger and stronger. But it still doesn't have any of the stuff you hear about in horror movies. But every advance that happens, you get a little closer to that kind of stuff. So that's why he did a great job of explaining it, but also did a great job of how to utilize it, and then how to do it via full transparency. Like his entire presentation, he used elements of this machine learning to create the graphics, to create prompts and how to use it and all this stuff. And it was really fascinating to hear it from a Catholic priest perspective, in the manner in which he utilizes it in his, not quite his daily life, but he'll use it if he needs a jumping off point. And
he'll give it homily or something?
Well, not necessarily. He was very particular about that. He does not like to use it for his homilies, though he will use it to research things for his homilies. Where he will use it is in letters, in his presentation, stuff like that, if he's pulling from vast things. But he says it's funny when it comes to the homilies, everyone asks that question, or one person asked that question. He said, no, actually, I love writing my own homilies. But he will use it if he needs, like, if he can't hit that punchline and he needs like something, he'll utilize that to kind of figure out a better way of saying something or something like that. But so it was interesting. But every graphic he put up, it said so ChatGPT is the main one out there. Right. ChatGPT has a graphic creator called DALL-E, based off of Salvador Dali, but it's DALL-E, which I've used for stuff too.
Wait, I just want to stop right there.
What?
It's
not going to put you out of business, I promise.
No, I'm just saying this is one of the reasons why I'm glad I didn't stay in the graphic design field, because it's like eliminated in so many ways.
So you would think it would be, but it actually isn't. What they're finding is that graphic designers are utilizing all the stuff to get better at it. And people like me are using it for people who either need to turn something around really quick or don't have the money to pay graphic designers. Now that certainly is problematic. But the reality of the real world situation is there are going to be people. It's a heck of a lot easier to pay $20 a month to build this than pay $60,000 a year. But if you're a small shop and you'll never be able to pay $60,000 for a graphic designer, you got to figure out something. So this does give them that, but it's still like, even the stuff I've made with it, it's still pretty limiting. Like it will never be able to replace what John Kalitz does for us, for instance, in the communications office. But anyway, it was fascinating. But there were other presentations about sort of, your spirituality and how how difficult it can be sometimes to to make sure that your spirituality stays at the forefront of your professional career. This was the first time we've had masses every single day.
Good.
Which, yeah, it was. I mean, there was always spirituality throughout the conference, but this was the first time they really made an impetus to have mass every day. And I will say, two of the masses, one mass was done at a historically Black Catholic church that is right across the street from the MLK Center in Atlanta, and it was phenomenal. One of the best gospel groups I have ever heard in my entire life. Like, I mean, like, unbelievable. And it was in this tiny little Black Catholic church, and they were great. Then we had one at the end of the week specifically at the cathedral, specifically for fallen past people from the Catholic Media Association. But then in between we had on-site masses in the conference center, and they were so big. It was A, standing room only, and B, we ended up having to bring chairs out into the hallway so people could, because it was amazing. And they were the largest, it's not an enormous conference. There may be about 300 people there. Generally, in years past, they'd never have more than 70 people attend the on-site masses because they're usually early in the morning or later. People want to sleep in or whatever. Nice. Because they were scheduled, because of when they were scheduled, and just this, like, everything I kept hearing about was how many people were talking about how we need to make spirituality more part of our professional lives.
I'm so glad for you.
I knew you would like that. I know you would like that.
Makes me so happy.
But as someone
this is like what I'm always trying to tell you. Now you actually heard it from.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I was quite confused by the entire thing. Yeah. But the people there, I mean, it came up in my roundtable discussions that I was facilitating. The same thing came up. So I'm glad that we.
Needed.
Yeah, and we'll just make sure next year it's in a bigger room because there were so many people.
You're in charge, so you better make sure of that.
But it's a big group effort. The Catholic Media Association.
Is there any like big names there? Like, do you have like Ascension Presents, Word on Fire?
Yeah,
like, all of them. You have Father Mike Schmitz walking through the hallways. Tell me.
It wasn't that. You guys, I think Jen mentioned it last week. There was all the Wahlberg talk. Jim Wahlberg, Mark Wahlberg's brother, was there presenting, and
great story.
Yeah, he does have an incredible story, and he was there to present on a documentary about the Eucharist, which was, I watched it while I was there. He gave a screening of it and gave some explanations and some background on it, and it was a very, very good documentary, and right down the middle, did a great, talked about the people who, even there was this great part about these Italian nuns, and you saw them making the hosts, and they were so sweet and so nice. But anyway, it was a really powerful, and there was one part, because of his, he's had some transgressions, he did a whole section in a prison and how important the Eucharist is in the prison situation.
Yeah, that's kind of what brought him out of prison.
It is.
Meeting Mother Teresa.
Well, I believe. It's funny how meeting Mother Teresa will turn you around.
Yeah.
But
who loved the Eucharist? So there you go.
But yeah, so it was great stuff like that. There, I mean, like Busted Halo is there.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
their people are there, and all the Paulist fathers are there.
Yeah.
And you asked about like Ascension Press and some other, a lot of the big news, because it was originally the Catholic Press Association, so you get a lot of the bigger newsy things.
EWTN and stuff.
EWTN was there. OSV News was there. American Magazine was there. Both NCRs were there. Not the National Catholic Reporter, National Catholic Register. So it's really a lot of everybody. But what we do find is, depending on where it's located, different groups will come. So like Ascension Press, I don't think had a big group there this year, but they have had big groups elsewhere. So it changes with the times, but we'll see what Phoenix brings next year.
Something like you need like a team to go to Phoenix next year, like.
Well, and
because you're at the head of it.
It was announced.
Like, is Talking Catholic going to be represented there, like a booth?
It was announced officially, so I can say it publicly now. The next one 2026 will be in Atlantic City. So.
I thought you said Phoenix. No.
2025 will be in Phoenix.
Oh, wait a minute.
2026 will be in Atlantic City.
2 years ahead.
So in 2026, there will be a very large contingent of people who will be there, yourself included, as both a volunteer and as a person presenting.
Date.
So yes, it's a great already I've talked to the other folks in our surrounding diocese, and they all want to pitch in. They want to be a part of it. So it's very exciting. So
will you be the head of that one too? Or
I will.
Okay.
Oh, actually, that'll be the one where I'm. So technically, I'm the chair of the host committee. I'm sorry. Currently, I am chair of the National Committee. In 2026, I will be chair of the host committee and the National Committee, which will be a little tricky for me. No, don't be happy for me. We've already talked about it. I got to bring somebody else in to be my co-chair for the National Committee, which is what I was this year. But no, it's very exciting. I'm really looking forward to working with the Phoenix people. The Phoenix people are great. The guy who has my job in Phoenix used to work for the Harlem Globetrotters. Cool. So he is all about, promotions. Like they had T-shirts made up for next year's with the new logo on it. They did great work. But I tell you, I do think, Carrie, you would feel at home there. It was your people. These are folks are so focused on the Catholic faith, so big into promoting the Catholic faith, loving the Catholic faith, and then showcasing, not in a bad way, I mean in a natural way, an organic way, their own faith lives, their own spiritual lives. So it was like being surrounded by 250
I'm ready to go with the
Carrie Janices.
Oh, it must have been a great week.
Oh, I didn't roll my eyes once. It was great.
All right. So, well, I'm glad to hear that. Now that we've talked so much.
I apologize.
Yeah, this is like the Mike Wash /
I'm making up for the fact that I got booted out last week.
I know. Yeah, sorry, listeners.
But did you hear me rant once? I'm super pumped and positive. Yeah. But we have a much better reason to get together today.
Yeah.
Because you came up with a stellar idea for a crossover episode. So we have some special guests with us. And
so we're crossing over to another wonderful media platform in the world of social media. Scoops and Saints with Father Peter Gallagher. So Father's here with us today.
Hi, Carrie and Mike. How are you?
Good. And Scoops and Saints can be found on Instagram and anywhere else.
Instagram only.
Instagram only. So
Instagram.
You gotta have a Gram account to follow it and see it. But it's some good stuff. And Father's real big with social media as well. Maybe you should be at this conference in 2026.
It's
Put him
possible.
on the list because he's also like he does this. He does the daily rosary challenge on his own social media platform as well as on TikTok. I think you've branched out to as well.
I have branched.
Yeah.
I'm receiving help from one of your key leaders.
Yes,
Carrie.
young people always there to help with the TikTok realm.
It's true.
There's one thing Father knows, it's how to farm out what you need to do to get it done and for the faith, and that's exactly what you're doing. Because I'm one of those people that also help with that. I get to record the rosary challenges once a week, which is very fun.
Great work.
Yeah, so I love working in this realm of evangelizing through media, and you do a great job with it. But let's focus on Scoops and Saints because that's why we're here. So I'll let you introduce our actual guest to kind of highlight and showcase today's Scoops and Saints attendee.
So before you do the introduction, though, can you explain everybody the genesis of Scoops and Saints?
Here we go.
Yes.
And
Mike always has to backtrack. I'm always going.
I know. I hate.
Mike pulls it back.
No, I just for our listeners' benefit.
Okay.
So how did it start, and who's a part of it?
Yeah.
So I've been friends with Chris Molitsky and Yai Nunez. I've known them for several years, and we'd get together, and Yai's little sister, she's one of two, they're very close, and she is the instigator. She's the reason, the protagonist behind Scoops and Saints. Chris and I, we love ice cream, and we'd get together from time to time. As you can imagine, we're all busy, we have things to do and places to be and all these things. So now it was like an excuse, like let's get together, we'll go to different ice cream places. And Yaz came up with this great idea to make something of it, to have a little content to it. So Scoops and Saints, we go to an ice cream place, we check out their ice cream, we taste it, give a little review, 1 to 10. For any of you who've seen Barstool Sports, there's a certain guy who likes to do this with pizza. Now we're doing it with ice cream. And at the end, we share our faith, a little saint quote, a little introduction to saint, and a little saint quote. And very simple, short and sweet. Don't need to watch for a long time. And
sweet
very sweet, very sweet. So that's the origin of Scoop and Saint. So we're on season 2.
Yeah. Last summer it started, and I think my son was a guest on it last summer with you.
JP did a great. He was a very good guest.
He likes the camera. I don't know where he got it from, but he likes the camera.
Well, today we're with a small business ice cream owner, Anthony Bongiovanni, and I met him because Father Hugh Bradley, who is at St. Teresa of Calcutta Parish. St. Teresa is mentioned
all
again.
Coming back together.
he used to be at Holy Angels in 2020. That's where we were living together and serving at Holy Angels. And Anthony's son would come there and receive confirmation at Holy Angels. And Father Hugh and I both love ice cream. Okay. So we went a couple times, and that's how we got introduced. And Anthony is the owner of Lena's in Lindenwold. Anthony, can you say hello to everybody?
Hi, everybody. I just really wanted to say thank you to Father and Carrie and Mike for having me do this neat thing. So thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, we're glad to have you on.
This is one of our favorite things to do. Carrie has been the sort of genesis of us going out and sampling some food and stopping by. I think this is good. Once we actually make it to the ice cream shop, this will be the fourth one we've done.
Yeah, and then we got another one lined up for the end of the summer.
Yeah. So thank you for indulging us in your indulgent dessert. We appreciate that.
Only my pleasure. Thrilled to do it.
How long have you been an ice cream shop operator?
So with Lena's in particular, July 10th will be 21 years with
Congrats.
my store. So yeah, thanks. The community is the only reason I've been there for 21 years is because the community and surrounding communities are outstanding to me. Treat me and my staff great and always have. So shout out to all those people.
Wow. Yeah. And how did it start for you? Were you working at another ice cream shop, or did you have another shop? Give us the full history of the 21 years and beyond that.
Well, I was 5 years old. I was selling lemonade on the street corner. Now I'm 55 years old. I'm selling lemonade in the frozen form. So that's it. Thanks a lot for everything, everybody. Have a great day.
If only it was always that simple.
Yeah.
Nah, there's a little more to it. It's like, I come from a hardworking family. My father was an electrician his whole life, but he always had little side businesses, as most of us Italians do.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I hear that.
But during college, which was here, that at the time it was Glass Bar. I graduated the year it switched to Rowan.
Okay.
I wanted to do something where I could, study and make money. Mm-hmm. And I started, believe it or not, selling pretzels on the street corner in West Stafford on 45 and Griscom Lane. That lasted at some point over 10 years, but it got me into the novelty food business. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I put myself through college. And again, the only way I could do it is because, my mother and father, but my father, again, we didn't come from a family that had a lot of money, but my father always had my back, no matter what I did. His strength and wisdom always had my back, so I could do ridiculous things like going out in the corner and try where if I didn't, I wouldn't have the opportunity.
Sure.
So, and he didn't tell me for years later, because I'm the first Bongiovanni in the family to go to college, and he was so proud of that. But then I was selling pretzels, and he told me years later that he's like, "Oh man, my son, I'm so proud. He's putting himself through college, first male Bongiovanni to ever go to college, but." He's selling pretzels on the corner. But he didn't tell me that until years later.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so again,
that's great. He didn't want to squash your dreams. He was letting them go.
He had confidence in me. You know what I mean? And because of my father's strength and wisdom behind me, his hand was always 2 inches from my back. So if I failed, I was never going to fall more than 2 inches back. Yeah. You know what I mean? And with that kind of strength behind you, you could do any ridiculous thing in life you tried, but thank God. So the pretzel corner turned into ice cream trucks. There was a guy named Bobsled Dunn who had ice cream trucks in the area, Defford, and he hadn't been on vacation in years. And I used to get him pretzels because he didn't, want to run into Philly in the morning, and I would run into Philly at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. So I used to supply him with pretzels. He said, "Aunt, can you run my ice cream trucks for me? I'll teach you the route. I want to go on vacation." So did that, and next thing I know, I had 2 ice cream trucks because it was not in Defford. I didn't take the guy's territory, but in West Defford, where I was from, born and raised, and all. And of course, ice cream trucks became delivery trucks, and we had pretzel delivery routes and things like that. We did Wawas. And then eventually I figured, you know what? I just want something stationary. So I contacted this company, Sensory Equipment, who helped me they supply ice cream store equipment and things like that. But again, these guys became my mentors. They helped me find my location now. They helped me design the building, set it up, give me my initial recipes, sold me $150,000 worth of equipment on a handshake, but you know what I mean? But without them, there wouldn't have been a 21 years in the industry. You know what I mean? So really, it was just a matriculation from some college kid standing on the street corner for 6 hours a day with his hands in the air to ice cream trucks, from ice cream trucks to a concrete building. And here I am at 55 years old, still selling the same product I sold at 5.
How about that?
That's an awesome story.
That is. I mean, I love that kind of stuff. And now that you've had the shop for 21 years, and I'm assuming you're after that period of time, you really must feel like you're part of the local community, and sort of like made those long connections. I mean, how's it feel to know that you're kind of like a staple of the community?
Amazing, absolutely amazing. And again, the people of those communities made me feel like that day one.
Really?
Day one. Yeah, the building I bought was an old abandoned gas station, so the mayor was looking to get that off his books, and the township and the neighbors were looking to. So when I came in and made it into a nice little neighborhood ice cream store, family get-together place, they were already on my side. You know what I mean? Because they didn't want me to fail.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want it to go back to an abused piece of building in their neighborhood. And they've had, again, just like my father had my back, these people for the past 21 years, and I know into the future have my back. And that's the only way I'm surviving is because of them. And I have a great staff. But it's funny that the kids that are now college kids now that are applying to work with me tell me stories. When I was 3 and 4, we used to come here, and that's when you've been around. You know what I mean? For quite a while. So, yeah.
And then anytime I've been there's always little kids there. Always little kids and parents, families. It's great.
And that's what we cater to, families. I mean, we cater to everybody, but our favorite, of course, is families and sports leagues and things like that. And that's my business.
Yeah.
So I grew up in a little town called Clayton, one town over. Yeah. And for me, growing up, I'm 52 years old now, and the Twin Kiss has been there the entire time I've been alive. And it's so my son is playing Little League in the town and has for years. And good game or bad game, sometimes you need that ice cream shop, and it's great to come to the one I went to when I was a little kid. And now I'm bringing my kid, and I have no doubt that he'll bring his kid when the day comes. Awesome. And it's the same thing. It's like it's the nice small, like, I get sad every year when it closes down for the winter and then opens, and then it's like, when is March going to get here? Because I want my Twin Kiss. Because every now and again, March rolls around and you get a sort of warm day, or it's just like I just need an Arctic blast. I just need my Arctic blast or my blizzard or whatever the different shop calls it, and you feel that pain. But they, like you said, like you've talked about, they've become these. I love entrepreneurs to do this kind of stuff. They've become hallmarks of the community. I mean, but
you're the reason they're hallmark.
That is,
you are 100% the reason that without you, they would have gone in business and went out of business within a year or two. You are the reason.
There's truth to that. But you're right, and I appreciate you saying that. But it is definitely a relationship. So it's not a business relationship; it's a community relationship.
Absolutely.
It's
absolutely.
Like driving through town, even if I don't stop in, I'm just happy that Twin Kiss is there. And I'm certain that the people in your community are thinking the exact same thing as they pass by your sign.
Yep.
I love that kind of stuff.
Can you give us a little history of the name? Is there any history to the name, who it's named after, or where Lena's came from?
Yeah, well, I mean, yes, Lena's is my deceased at this point, but my grandmother, my old Sicilian grandmom.
Okay.
So we just wanted, when we named it, of course, I had a business partner, the guy, became a cop, and now he's a very successful lieutenant in Winslow Township. He lasted with me. He was still my best buddy in the world, but his real passion was, doing the right thing for people on that end. You know what I mean? So he's a successful lieutenant now. But he and I threw back a million names, and we just thought Lena, my grandmother, you almost picture an old Sicilian lady and things like that. And even though I am not an old Sicilian lady, I'm a middle-aged Sicilian guy. I'm happy to let grandmom's name be on my awning.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
We all love an Italian grandmom.
We probably should have made mention of this before, but because I don't want to wait too long, and we might forget it when we do the on-site interview later. What is the address of your shop?
Sure. So the address is 615 Laurel, Laurel Road in Lindenwold, New Jersey, obviously. It is about a mile down from the Lindenwold high-speed line and Jefferson Hospital, which are both on the White Horse Pike. About a mile down on Laurel Road from there. Can't miss it.
I've been past your shop many a time as I visited the parish there, whether it's with its two churches, and occasionally, I got to get back from one to the other. So I have seen your shop, and now I will know that. Well, we're going to go do it in a couple of days to do the actual taste testing. But I promise you, I will make a point of stopping in there every time I'm at Our Lady of Guadalupe
Me
Parish.
too. Like Anthony sent me.
Yeah, exactly.
Anthony sent me.
Yep, absolutely.
That's one Italian goodbye to another. We say, "Oh, yeah, do this for me." Anthony sent me here. You know what that means?
100%. 100%.
Now I have a question. I saw that because I have not been there yet. I'm looking forward to our on-site testing, taste testing, I should say. But I saw that all the water ices and ice creams are homemade.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that process a little bit? Or did you have to learn it? Was it something that you kind of knew already from your experience on the trucks, or how did that come about?
Nope. Didn't know anything about making water ice. I knew how to buy it from someone who did know how to make it, and I knew how to sell it on my ice cream trucks. So this company that I mentioned before, Century Equipment in Blackwood, who sells all the equipment, again, they were my mentors. Not only did they, sell me the machines, but like I said, they helped me design the store, told me what I would need. Then they gave me lessons in, they gave me beginner recipes, which I, changed and made my own during the year. But without the beginner recipes, I'd, be flat. They trained me on how to make water ice. They trained me on how to make ice cream. And obviously 21 years ago, I've developed my own style, my own thing. But again, without them as mentors, so yeah.
You need that basis to just start,
exactly.
Start to make it your own and taste test and move on, change an ingredient here and there.
Exactly. So my business partner, Walt, and I, when we first started, we just wanted to do water ice and have some soft serve to make gelatis with. Well, the neighborhood told me that was incorrect, basically. So my clients told me that was incorrect, because what would happen was, even though that's what we wanted to do, it's not about what we wanted to do. It's about what's needed out there, right? So people would come up to the windows. They'd all love the water ice, but they're invariably, if there was 5 people, a couple people wanted hard ice cream, so they would leave. I'm sorry, we don't have hard ice cream. We don't have this. So, okay, thanks. And they would leave to our neighbors who had hard ice cream. So guess what we did? I learned to make hard ice cream. So now we have like 24, 25 flavors of hard ice cream that I make every day, and, about 12 to 16 flavors of water ice, for, I guess, about 12 at a time that I make every day. So, yeah, it's all fresh. It's all, like I said, homemade. There's a machine in the back. And if you want to actually, for the
on-site visit?
Yeah, on-site visit, if you want to see how that might be a little different than just tasting. I mean, not that we're not going to taste everything you want to taste, but if you want a little shot of what it is to actually have water ice or ice cream being made, you could do that too. I'll do that for you.
Sounds to me, Father Peter, like you're going to have your first sequel to Scoops and Saints, because I think we're going to have to shoot some video of that, and you can put it up as a episode 2. Because you did do a Scoops and Saints there a year or 2 ago.
Yeah, it was like maybe right around Easter, and I was going to ask for our audience too. This is really important, Mike. You already referred to that thing, which is the twist with the candy mixed in. What do you have a special name for it at your store?
So, well, we just call it an Arctic Swirl. You told
There it
me
is.
it's like
That's-
a thick,
see,
thick
that's-
milkshake with
Yeah.
M&Ms or Reese's,
Because that's
right?
my favorite.
Yeah.
I would,
Me too.
I would say like if I'm really hungry and it's really hot and it's summer, I'm looking to that.
And you know why
Arctic
that's
Swirl.
that's our favorite?
Awesome.
You know why that's our favorite?
Why is it?
That's because we're children. And that's because it's always that is the kids.
What do you
Bit of
mix in,
candy.
Mike? What do you mix in?
Well, so it's fully dependent on my mood,
Okay.
but my standard is just M&Ms. I like some
Interesting.
M&Ms.
Plain
you know,
guy.
I'm gonna-
Twist with Reese's.
a
It's very hard to
Oh
beat.
yeah, you
Right
can't
there.
do
Just-
that.
just throw that out
Reese's
The chocolate
anything.
peanut butter again.
Chocolate
Father.
peanut
Yeah,
butter anything.
there it is.
I will say I test a shop by the Arctic Swirl or whatever they call it. Some places call it
all
something.
the
That's a
same.
good criterion.
But exactly, but it's that if they can make a good Arctic Swirl, then I will, and then I'll be very happy. But that being said, I do enjoy hard ice cream, and I do like particularly if it's homemade stuff. I love checking that out, and gelatis.
Yes.
I got turned on to gelatis when we would be in Gibbstown visiting my in-laws, and then Don and Bert's is there.
Yeah,
And,
great place.
Oh yeah, a fantastic place, and I never knew something as delightful of a gelati as a gelati existed. I know there's a name brand big company that kind of relies on it. I'm not going to give any free press, but in terms of the locals, man, you get me a good
No.
gelati, and
I'm always a local or that corporate.
me too.
one.
I'm the same way.
One just shut down by my house, and I was so sad because we went there quite
A
often.
local joint.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
So
sad.
sad.
The question I have though is in the 4 minutes before we switch gears in our interview, what is your preferred gelati combinations? Do you have a gelati combination?
Okay, well, I'm going to preface mine with I have before John Paul and after John Paul. And for all the ladies out there that have been mothers and who have carried their child, when you are pregnant, you have these crazy cravings.
Oh, sure, of course.
And for me, I craved ice cream every single day, and I ate it almost every single day of my pregnancy, and it was amazing. It was so good, and I didn't care about gaining weight because I was pregnant. It didn't matter. So I just ate and ate and ate ice cream. I literally had a post on my Instagram story every day, ice cream of the day, and would like show what I was eating. So I had this crazy craving of something I've never liked before, and that's mint chocolate chip.
Oh wow.
Never liked it before until my son, and now I still love it. All my cravings stayed too, I should say. So
Awesome.
since my son, it's been my go-to gelati is the mint chocolate chip with water ice with a twist and chocolate sprinkles on top.
So wait, which water ice do you pair with that? Because I've never
Mint
paired.
chocolate chip water ice.
Oh, you go mint chocolate chip
Yeah.
water ice with mint chocolate chip ice cream.
No. Mint chocolate chip water ice with the twist, soft serve.
Oh,
with the
okay. Now
gelati.
I got it.
And then chocolate sprinkles on top.
All right.
But before my son, it was more of the fruity stuff, which was mango with vanilla.
Okay.
Mango with vanilla.
That is the most popular gelati
Mango.
in the
Wow.
world.
That's good to
I
know.
believe it. I
Mango
believe it.
with mango with vanilla ice cream.
There it is.
You hit it
Right there
on
in the
nose.
average.
Yep.
Nice.
No, not not the average.
Well,
the
What
major
the majority of people
yeah.
want to do. That's what I mean. Yeah, I'm right there. Let's go.
All right,
I'm going
Father.
root beer gelati.
root
Love
beer
it.
gelati.
Vanilla. Root beer,
It's like
water
a float.
ice,
Yep.
vanilla.
Almost.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
We're full.
Awesome.
I could see that.
I go standard. It's the only time I drink anything cherry or eat anything cherry, but cherry with vanilla ice
You
cream
are
is
so
mine.
much like my husband. I
It's
say this
like-
all the time. That's his go-to
Hey,
as
listen,
well.
there you go.
You guys are so much alike
Phil
in
is
so
one of the
many
most
ways.
brilliant men I've ever met in my
Yeah.
entire life.
It's
I don't-
really
I don't
funny.
know. So as the purveyor, do you have a preference?
I actually, now, not to just piggyback what you two say, but both of what you say. I like the mango and the cherry with the vanilla ice
There you
cream.
go.
I
Okay.
There you go.
I don't get to eat it that much, believe it or not. But if I do, it's just what one of you said. But Father Gallagher has got the good idea too with the root beer float style gelati.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
I've never thought of that pairing, and I'll be honest, I never once thought of like a mint ice. I mean,
Do you make mint chocolate chip water ice
No.
there? Okay, so
Mint
I'll have to go to the
chocolate
main.
chip ice cream is one of the biggest sellers
Yeah.
in my store
well,
that
I'll
I
have
make.
that one
but
in there too. You can have that ready. And the mango
She's already
gelati.
put it in orders.
That's all right. No, that's always
Have it ready.
You got it.
Because this is post John Paul, and I've been loving mint chocolate chip ever since. It's like my number one.
well, that's what I grew up with, so I'm right there with you.
And I
so.
never liked it. I never liked it.
Some
before.
people,
It's so weird how
Some
that
people,
happened.
and I don't know if it's the people or if it's who makes the ice cream. The key is it can't be too minty. It can't taste like
Correct.
toothpaste.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
green or white?
Oh, green.
Oh, really? You need the green? You have to look like it, do you?
White is like, no. Yeah.
You need to go full
I need the
green.
food dye.
I respect that. I do. All right. Well, listen, this was a great pre-conversation, but we're going to shift things over to the actual eating part. So let's see how this stuff actually tastes.
All right, let's go inside the shop and try some ice cream.
All right. So what do we have with us?
All right, we have a good lineup today. We have some mint chocolate chip, green for, Carrie's very happy with the green
yes.
mint chocolate chip.
If it was white, I wasn't eating it.
We have cinnamon. We have salted caramel, and we have Cookie Monster. And we'll get to what's in the Cookie Monster, but first we got to start with mint chocolate chip. All right, here we go.
Yeah,
All right.
This is what Carrie said, and I think we all said this was all kind of our go-to, right?
Yeah, and many people. I mean, this is like everyone's fave.
Yeah, let's see here. I'll tell you
I'm
this.
already happy.
Well, I'll tell you this. It's got a nice consistency. Like,
that
just to
is
look
nice.
at it, it is a good-looking ice cream.
And you know what? You could tell immediately looking at it that it's homemade. It has that look.
Right.
That's my favorite.
And it's very creamy. It's not. Sometimes you can get it, and it's kind of like granular. Like you taste the ice in it and stuff like that.
Yes, I know what you're talking
This
about.
actually, in some ways, it tastes closer to gelati than almost like what you'd expect from it.
It's
I'm
really
actually
smooth.
kind of sad that we're talking and I can't just keep eating. This is so good.
All right, Anthony. Definitely good job with number one. You made Carrie. Even though we are now recording this at 7:59 a.m. as we're having
I don't
having
care.
our ice cream, this is a great way to start the day, Anthony.
I love it. I love
Amazing,
it. Thank you,
amazing.
guys.
Are we rating them? We're doing a Scoops and
No,
Saints rating?
we're not rating. We're
I mean, but that's
we're gonna
what they
finish
do
them
with
all.
Scoops and Saints. He rates them.
okay.
Because
We'll wait to the end.
all right,
Okay.
all right,
Well, we
all
can-
You
right.
rate them against each other, though, right?
Yeah.
On your show.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Let's
right.
go.
So none of these are going to be a zero. I can tell you that.
You're gonna finish the mint before we even get to the next
I
one.
don't even want to go on. I just
Well,
want
here's
to
the
stay
thing.
right here.
I don't know that I've. So we're moving on to the cinnamon. I don't know that I've ever had a cinnamon before.
Very few places have that.
Yeah, this is definitely
Ooh,
a new look.
that's a very good cinnamon. All of these are really creamy.
I'm still cleansing my palate of the mint. Already.
Actually, I was just going to say that the cinnamon's actually a nice palate cleanser.
It is.
Okay.
Because it kind of reminds me of.
Wow.
It's and I mean this in a good way. Like I'm having flashbacks to Cinnamon Toast Crunch as a kid.
Yes.
Yes.
That's exactly the.
You
and
just hit it.
without your gluten issues, Carrie. This is outstanding.
Pre-gluten issues.
This is so good.
Cinnamon doesn't have gluten in it, does it?
No,
Because
no.
I put cinnamon in that. So, okay.
This is
Just making sure.
This is exactly. That is exactly
Very
what I'm
good.
thinking of it, and I mean it in the highest compliment. Like
Yeah, it's so good.
it's like the greatest cinnamon toast crunch you've ever had,
Yeah.
just without the crunchy part.
Anthony, I don't know if we discussed this, but are you open year round?
No.
No,
I
okay.
need the break in the
Yes.
winter.
And so when do you open up?
We shoot for February 15th, weather
Wow.
depending.
Okay, so it's still winter.
And then we closed roughly the first or second week in November, weather permitting. And then
Okay.
I open back up for just a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday right before Thanksgiving, where I spend the last couple of weeks that we're closed before we open up again, and I make these Christmas flavors, specialty
that's pretty
flavors, and
cool.
I just sell them in pints. Nothing in here is for sale except for these pints of Christmas flavors.
Mm-hmm. Okay, the reason
and then
why
I sleep.
Oh right, yeah, as you should. The reason why I asked this is because this is a flavor I would get in the winter.
It's-
Like I would come in February to
Oh,
eat
you know what?
this.
Oh, okay, good.
Or I would even go with the fall because that cinnamon is
Yeah.
like it's not saying apple pie, but I could definitely taste that on top of an
Yeah.
apple pie.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That is.
At the end of August, I make a pumpkin ice cream.
Oh, really?
Every year.
I'm coming
And
back.
at the end of August, and what do you think people pair it with? They put graham cracker topping, pumpkin ice cream, and cinnamon ice cream. That's exactly.
That is
Part
perfect.
2, fall episode. I'm talking
right.
have the crossover with Scoops
All
and
right.
Saints.
Now remember, we got another show to record with these, so you're not eating it all, Carrie.
fine.
Remember, we still got to do the video portion
I got a
of this.
lot of ice cream. Let her eat. Mange and mange.
All right,
Salt.
that's what I like. That's a good purveyor right there. All right, so what's the next one?
The next one is salted caramel, and for our listeners, these three were all in the top these three were all in the top most popular ice creams that you sell. Is that true, Anthony?
Yes, sir, Father.
Here we go.
All right.
Oh, that's nice.
That's rich. I really like that. That is that's a very rich.
That's very rich. It's very good.
That's the fastest I went in for the second scoop. That's how rich that thing is.
I think right now, this is I would bring home to Mom. The cinnamon I would bring home to Dad. You know, your family members. They would love these too.
That's all we get.
The
Orders
salted
like
caramel's
that.
really good.
Yep.
My husband would love this one. This
Yeah, that
him.
is that is outstanding right there. And you're right. As we're talking about that, my mom would go crazy for the salted caramel. That matter of fact, I think so would my son and wife. They are caramel freaks. So that is.
I think also these they're all sweet without being too sweet. I want
Right,
to give you
that's the
compliments.
I agree. I
That's the
agree.
goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause sometimes you need the water to like kind of rush it down because it's just the sugar's building up in your mouth. But this was like just enough.
Nope. It's a
Yeah.
hard balance to achieve, but eventually you get it. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, which is a danger that I think a lot of people and a lot of the store-bought ice creams are just too high in sugar.
Oh,
And I've
yeah.
noticed as I've gotten older, I'm trying to diet not for health reasons, but it's actually like from a taste perspective, the too sweet things. It's like I can have 2 bites and I'm done. Whereas something where it's the creaminess, the fattiness of the ice cream, like that's what I want to dive into.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're gonna remove Carrie from the mix
Yeah, I'm out.
because Carrie lives a gluten-free lifestyle. And we're going to go into the
We got-
Cookie Monster.
So what cookies are in
Cookie
this?
Monster. Every place does it different. This one has cookies and cream and chocolate chips,
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
and it's blue for our
Yeah.
you know, the aesthetic.
We're going
Thank you.
full Sesame Street Cookie Monster.
There's even a little picture of like the Cookie Monster
Oh,
up
that's
here.
really good.
And you know, when my son first started, you know, when he was very small, the Cookie Monster was always the one he went
Oh
for.
yeah, because blue.
Because it's blue, right?
Yeah.
And there was always, you know, very
Literally,
decorative
I was
and
looking
stuff
at
like
that thinking my son would go crazy for that right
Of
now.
course.
This definitely, Anthony. This has no brownie in it.
No.
I feel like
no.
it's not
No.
the Oreos are good.
I
Or
would
the,
not lie to a
the
priest.
Good
No
call.
brown.
I really like it.
But I'm glad you like it, Father.
So it's an Oreo style cookie. It's what's in it.
Yes. Oreos, Chips Ahoy type things. Yep.
Oh wow.
Maybe
Exactly.
that's what it
is. The
it's,
Chips
it's
Ahoy.
Chips Ahoy cookie,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
chocolate chips.
Yes.
Oh,
no,
there.
absolutely. I'm sorry, Father. Yeah,
That-
Chips Ahoy
okay, that
cookie.
makes sense.
Yes.
All right.
That's
the
good.
Chips Ahoy. Okay.
I'm back on my mint chocolate chip as you guys are eating.
All right. Now, if we're ranking these against each other,
Oh man.
like which one would I
Like
have?
for second, third, fourth.
Yeah, which one would I have when I come back? I'm pretty sure. I'm having a hard time deciding. I think I'm coming for the cinnamon.
I knew it.
I think I'm coming for the cinnamon because it's so perfect. Like
It is
it's
really good.
it's the greatest ice cream concoction I've ever had in my entire life. I gotta tell you, Anthony.
It is pretty good.
And I'm, you know,
Wow. Thanks. guys.
that is darn good. And then I'm probably going the mint for the, you know, taking me back to my youth kind of thing. And then I'm going salted caramel. And then because I'm not 5 years old, I'm not going Monster. But that's how I'd rank them. How about you?
I think, Mike, I completely agree with you. I think even though it's not my go-to, the cinnamon I would come back and get. It's that good.
Yeah.
Okay. The go-to for me is the cookies, so I'm gonna put that number 2. And I want everyone to know mint chocolate chip is not always my favorite, but this one is really good and it's not too sweet. So thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent.
All right. Well, I'm coming back in November for the cinnamon. That's just a done deal. But I'm gonna come back for my go-to like next week, mint chocolate chip
Yeah.
for sure. That's my
Awesome.
number 1. Then cinnamon, and then salted caramel, which is also good. It just wouldn't be my first choice.
Yeah.
Understood.
I think there are caramel people and not
Yes.
caramel people.
Yeah.
Now this is not the end of our eating though. There's 2 more we have to try. So
Oh, yes.
so what do we
Pace
what do-
myself here.
What are we bringing out here? What did you guys order?
Is it, Carrie, gelato or gelati?
Gelati.
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 That the important I.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Big difference.
I've never even heard of gelato.
What?
Yeah, you have.
I've only heard it as gelati.
No.
Okay, come on.
Well, gelato is the Italian ice cream.
Gelato.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
gelati is.
Just a one letter difference.
Okay, I've always called it gelati.
Well, it is. That's what it is. You're absolutely right. It's gelati. So
All right.
this is perfect. Let me get a couple of photos here of.
They look so good.
I feel bad that we're gonna have to mess up something that's so beautiful.
The reason why we also chose these two flavors is we talked about these two.
Yeah.
So we talked about
Oh yeah, it had to be. It had to be
our
made.
mango and our cherry,
Yeah.
and we went with the straight vanilla.
All right, we're gonna
Most definitely the most popular product in the store is the gelatis, and they are most definitely the two most popular flavors. We even have gelati days where it's a buy one get one free gelati.
Buy one get
all
one free.
day.
That's a great deal.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What day are they?
Time, well,
what day,
a couple
what day?
times a year.
Do you
You'll
put
see,
it?
just look at my sign.
All right.
Do you put it on like online or anyway?
Facebook. The
All right,
only
so you look
social
on
media
Facebook.
I really have for Lena's is Facebook. But I post it in a lot of different town sites. So
That mango's
that's good.
excellent.
That mango
Yeah, and the
is
nice thing is,
Excellent.
I love gelatis, and it is a nice thick layer of soft serve on the bottom, an enormous layer of the water ice in the middle, and then you got that perfect topping of just a nice little dance of a little curl of soft serve on top. And the reason why, it's the perfect summertime confection is because that you get a little, because sometimes the ice cream can be too much. Like it's a really hot day, it's like that's too much for you. But that water ice, just so
Yeah.
perfect. And that mango, man, mango is not
Fresh.
typically what I go for, but I may have to add that into the list because that is
It's really good.
that is
Really good.
genuinely delicious.
Now, is this a large? What size are we eating here?
So, yeah, that would be a large. We have everything
Okay.
12 ounce, 16 ounce, and we even have 32 ounce. So it's a
32
32
ounce.
ounce
Oh my
quart
gosh.
gelati. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Because
right.
that is a nice portion.
And, I mean, I have to admit, I put them in those for the camera so you could see them. Usually
Sure.
the cups are
Ah,
not
All right.
clear.
We
but
appreciate
it's
that.
the same stuff.
Same size, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
right.
okay. That was smart.
so now we need to try the cherry, which is always my go-to. That is
This
like
is the
a-
mic.
Mike Wall special.
That is such good cherry. Not crazy sweet. And the thing is, I love the look of it. Like the mango, it's white on yellow, right? That's fine. That's good.
You like the pop.
The pop of the white on like fire engine red cherry, that is oh man, that is literally taking me back.
Yeah, I'm more of a mango. My husband would like it. I tasted all of my husband's favorite flavors right there, but I'm gonna always pick the mango over the cherry. That's just me.
Mike, I really like the cherry, but I do agree with Carrie on this one.
With that, you're going mango. Hey, that's the first time I've ever had a mango.
There you go.
Well, 'cause
Yeah.
Outside the box.
Come on over to the
Well,
good side.
As I tell people all the time, I'm a simple person from simple folk. Grew up very rural. We didn't have things like mangoes and avocados growing up. We had cherry and root beer and
There you
that
go.
kind of stuff. And this is what's bringing me back. But that could, like we said, we're recording this at 8 a.m. That could be my breakfast. I'm not entirely certain I'm
You're
getting
taking it.
that
it's,
may
it's
be
for you.
that may be
That's
what
yours.
goes home with me today.
It's all you.
All right, Anthony, we got about a minute to go here. Your shop is amazing. This
Thank
place
you.
is great.
Thank you.
I can, Father. I'm assuming that you can fully give it the Scoops and Saints
A+.
A+. This is the A+ joint.
Thank
You're
you.
about to hear it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm totally coming back, bringing the fam.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
and very easily accessible. It's like you are connected to every main road in this section of Lower Cape or Camden County. So this
County,
is
you got it.
this you can. I got here in 20 minutes from Glassboro, so
right on.
perfect location.
And it's a lot of good parking out there, and a walk-up counter, and you just order, and some
Yeah.
benches outside. You could sit and eat. Definitely come on down to Lena's this summer for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And seriously, the cinnamon ice cream is not to be missed. So if you remember nothing else from this podcast, remember the cinnamon ice cream. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for joining in. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you.
And Anthony, I guarantee you will see us again.
Beautiful.
God bless.